This is the story of Catherine Svilicek. She recently adopted a dog which had such a kind nature and was very loving. Strangely though, the little doggie would soon become attached to her new baby. This bond led to both the baby and dog becoming local stars and headline catchers in their community and ended up saving each other in the process, and we mean that both figuratively and literally. The only concern about the newly adopted Doberman was that he was a rescue puppy, so he might have had a traumatic past that Catherine did not know about. Did she need to worry about leaving them alone together? All dogs like to play and even occasionally chew on their owner's hands or arms in an innocent manner. However, there are specific breeds such as Dobermans or Pit Bulls who, from past experiences, can be a genuine threat to human safety. Shortly after Catherine had given birth to her baby Charlotte, she wanted her newborn to grow up with a companion by her side, so when they went to adopt a dog, they chose the one that nobody wanted because she wanted to show it love. She had been informed that Khan had gone through a lot already in his life. Catherine had no problem bringing Khan home and introducing the new addition to Charlotte, who was now 17 months old. Catherine knew that adoption was a risk. No one could guarantee that he was safe, especially after his past. The amazing thing is that Khan was going to be put down just a week before Catherine adopted him. He just survived after a twist of fate. Even though the Sviliceks were responsible for saving his life, Khan's behavior was out of their control. All the foundations he learned from being a puppy were elsewhere, and they had no idea of his past. Only 4 days after he was adopted, Khan was playing with little Charlotte in the Sviliceks' garden. So far, there was nothing for the family to worry about. Charlotte and Khan spent a long time running around in the grass happily together, neither making too much noise. But suddenly from nowhere, Khan went crazy, took the child, and tossed her across the grass. Charlotte flew a yard away and slammed her back on the ground. For some bizarre reason, Khan considered the toddler as a threat. He didn't seem to care that Catherine was watching the entire incident from the kitchen window. Charlotte didn't cry, but she was very distressed and even shell-shocked. "Had I not seen it with my very own eyes, I'd never have believed it," said Catherine. She rushed over to attend to her poor baby girl who was in a state of bewilderment. Then, all of a sudden, before Charlotte could even get a grip of the situation, Khan barked frantically and fell to the ground. The entire family was completely confused as to what was going on. Catherine rushed over to the scene to find Charlotte completely fine. She checked her daughter to find her fine, healthy, and untouched. She couldn't believe it. However, something was terribly wrong with Khan as he lay lifeless on the ground. Catherine then realized that Khan was actually trying to protect Charlotte, but his heroic act left him severely injured. Time was running out, he was gasping and whimpering, and Charlotte knew she had to get help immediately. Khan had a large wound in his body that needed attention. He was in a terrible state and looked as though he could die. It appeared that he had been poisoned by something. Khan was bitten by something so dangerous that the bite could cause instant paralysis to even the strongest of animals. Without hesitation, Catherine picked up Khan and hastily carried him to the car. As soon as they arrived at the vet, she rushed frantically out of the car. She ran over to the clinic, screaming for help. The vets took a look at the injury and detected venom. The venom is what made him fall to the ground. This venom is so poisonous that he was really on the brink of death. Imagine if he had not flung the baby out of the way in protection, what the outcome could have been. It was at that moment that Catherine felt indebted to this dog who had been so selfless when her daughter was under threat. Catherine prayed that he would be okay and survive. Just 30 minutes after he was sent to the emergency room, the doctor who attended to Khan returned to the room to speak with Catherine. She ran up to the doctor asking many questions and desperate for all the answers. Was Khan going to be okay? The truth was that the doctor didn't know if Khan would pull through or not. "We don't know yet, madam. We did what we could, but now his body has to fight the poison," he said. "The anti-venom will certainly help, but we don't know to what extent. It's best that you come back tomorrow morning." The morning had arrived, and after receiving little sleep, she rushed to the vet as soon as it opened. Before finding out if Khan would survive, Catherine found out what almost killed her poor baby and her new dog in the first place. Catherine discovered that there was a dangerous animal that was living in her garden, and she had no idea that it was even there. Catherine discovered what almost killed her family. The truth became clear. Khan was not trying to attack Charlotte. In fact, quite the opposite. He was desperately trying to save her life. It turns out that she was close to a mulga, an incredibly venomous snake and one of Australia's most dangerous creatures. Khan saw one of his trusted companions in danger and simply wanted to help. The brave Doberman was now known as the family hero. But could it be too late? The Svilicek family has completely torn apart, and Khan appeared to be completely helpless. They didn't know whether to prepare for his homecoming or to bury him. She knew the veterinarians were doing their best to revive Khan. They gave him a shot of anti-venom in the hopes that Khan would be able to fight the poison and regain his strength. But now Catherine needed to know if she could ever bring Khan back home. She decided she couldn't wait any longer and dialed the vet's office. Catherine called the vet to find out the situation and needed answers. All she wanted was to take the once-neglected dog back home to her family. According to the vet, Khan would be okay and was slowly getting better. He was still very weak, but there was no longer any risk of total paralysis as a result of the snake's venom. Catherine breathed her first sigh of relief in a long time. The anti-venom did its job. But wait. Now Catherine needed to know if Khan would ever make a full recovery. Luckily, the vet believed that he would. According to snake expert on Adelaide, it seems that Khan only survived the snake bite because the snake did not manage to inject a lot of venom into Khan. If the snake had injected the full amount of venom, Khan would probably not have survived. So where are Khan and baby Charlotte today? After such an intense time and many unanswered questions, the vet told Charlotte that Khan had recovered successfully and was on the mend. He was astounded at just how fast the dog had bounced back from the poison. Catherine was ecstatic after hearing the news and couldn't wait to be reunited with her hero. He was a fighter and fought through to see his family again. Now the whole family could be reunited again. From now on, Catherine made sure to protect her family and protect Khan. He was their hero forever. Khan was so happy to see his family after leaving the vets and licked baby Charlotte's face in affection. This picture shows how Charlotte, all grown up, is still with her best friend by her side to this day.